Hello everyone! Happy surprise today when I checked the logstone to see that they finally updated the special site for 5.2. And it's about time. They were building up 5.1 for a long time there, but 5.2 doesn't feel like it's been getting much love lately. We need to fix that, but let's have a look at what's been promised to us so far. Now, we know that the next patch for 5.2, which is going to be the patch that sets up the big storyline for the epic 5.3 battle, that will wrap up the whole story for Shadowbringers, so I am expecting a lot of suspense and build up here. I swear, I will be so disappointed if they don't do that. But what do we know of the patch so far? Well, patch 5.2 is titled Echoes of a Falling Star. We do have the cover art for it, which is pretty nice. But we don't have a release date just yet, but it is supposed to come out mid-February. But if I had to guess, I would say probably around the 11th to the 18th, but I think it most likely that the date would be on the 18th, which is less than 3 weeks away. So let's see what is waiting for us now. So, fate beckons, the bold answer. And bold certainly seems to be the big theme here. First off, we'll start off with what we were shown for the main scenario questline. With Yulmore on the path to a brighter tomorrow, the Scions await such time as the Exarch might return them home. Not in idleness, however, for when has any world been content to grant its heroes respite? Isn't that so true? When was it ever easy for us? So while we're trying to find a way to get the others home, something big is going to happen here that's going to be the big lead up into 5.3. So I think that's what they're trying to say. As is always the case. So we do have some pictures here to admire. The first one here is of the fake Oddbirds, possibly Elidibus in disguise, though I think that he probably might have learned a little something from his past mistakes and might have been a little bit more creative. I don't know who this guy is, but I would be really surprised if it did turn out to be Elidibus. I don't know, when I think about it, I just expect something a little bigger here. But from what I can see, he seems to be standing outside the Crystarium, much in the same way that MSQ first appeared to us. And I can't wait to see the looks on their faces when they see him, and it really makes me wonder if we might hear back from the original Oddbird again. I mean, he did merge his soul with ours, so is he still in there somewhere? Either way, I do think this is where we will confront the imposter. The next one here is a big surprise in that we are back in Alamigo. We're meeting with not only Reborn and Maxima though, we have Gaius here as well. So when we last heard about him, he and Estinian parted ways after they broke into the capital, and he was looking into a possible new threat based on a device that was missing from the capital. I do think that this will lead more into the trial that we will be talking about later, but it's going to be amazing to see Gaius and Reborn actually sitting there and having maybe a somewhat civilized conversation about a new possible threat. Really looking forward to this scene. And the final picture for the main scenario quest line that they kind of gave us a clue about is of Yestola standing in the ruins of Yonka with one of the Dia's guards with her. Now, it could be that she's just here looking for another means to transport their souls back to the source, and it really would give us a chance to have some real one-on-one time with Yestola maybe, like how we had some really cute moments with the twins in the last patch. We need more touching moments with the Scions, if you ask me, and I really would like to see the Warrior of Light kind of confront Urianger about his part in this whole thing. So, already we can see that there's a lot of suspense waiting for us in the future. But what else is possibly waiting for us on the first? Well, the next round of Eden, of course. The new raid dungeon is called Eden's Verse. Having taken control of the gargantuan Sin Eater known as Eden, Rin continues her quest to restore the dormant elements of the empty. With Urianger, Thancred, and the Warrior of Darkness by her side every step of the way, yet the awakening of an anemic young woman may put the mission in jeopardy. Will this erstwhile foe continue to pose a threat, or is there more to her heart than darkness? So in this picture is actually what the woman looks like without her armor. So she was one of the battles that we had in the last series of Eden battles. And at the end of it, Urianger called her the Oracle of Darkness. So I'm not entirely sure who this girl is, but she does look pretty similar to Rin now that I think about it. There are some pictures here about her, but I will go more into that in just a moment. Anyway, we are moving on to the brand new dungeon that's going to be waiting for us. Anamnesis Anider. Deep in the Tempest, deeper still than the phantom Amarat of MXL's design, lies what remains of Anider's ancient artifices. What slumbers forgotten in this bed of knowledge, even the Undo know not. So here we have a couple more pictures here. So unlike the rest of the city of Amarat that's deep in the ocean that was almost revitalized because of MXL's magics, this here doesn't seem to be touched. So either this was actually part of a separate part of the city that MXL just didn't have time to go into or just completely forgot about. I personally doubt that. Or maybe this here is showing signs of maybe his magic is starting to fade by now. So as you can see here, unlike the rest of the city, it hasn't been revitalized. This here has just been sitting at the bottom of the ocean for thousands of years. But look, we still have the lights on and everything. The power bill must be so sky high by now. But we can see all the coral, we see the ruined tiles. So it did survive mostly intact, but I don't know. I honestly don't know anything about this place or what it could possibly be about. The very definition of anamnesis is the remembering of things from a supposed previous life. And since this title of the patch is called Echoes of a Fallen Star, it could be possible we'll be learning a lot more about the past, perhaps even the Warrior of Light's past as a possible ancient here. I really do hope so. I am dying to know more about what happened back then. But this here is the basic outside. It looks like this here is actually part of a trail that we follow to actually get inside the building, which would be nice. And we also have another picture here of one of the bosses that we'll be fighting against. And really, it just looks like a gigantic purple cyclops with horns and an orange outfit. I gotta say, the colors clash and they don't look good on him, but hey, at least it gets your attention. As you can see into the background here, we do see how the algae and all of the coral is just settling into the stone. But otherwise, it did survive surprisingly well after thousands of years. I mean, you gotta hand it to these Amaratians. They knew how to build things that last. But what else could be possibly waiting for us? Well, if we look back on the source, we have the brand new series of the Chronicles of a New Era, The Sorrows of Wynant. The Garlean Empire seeks to break the stalemate with the Eorzean forces by unleashing the culmination of its twisted experimentation. A brutal war mecha that exists only to destroy. On both sides of the battlefield, shadows of the past loom large as the decisive clash draws ever nearer. So this here is actually what I was thinking about when I saw the picture of Gaius and Raubon in the main scenario talking. So I think that Gaius has decided to enlist the help of the Alliance in dealing with these new weapons. I think he would feel like these weapons are too strong to be controlled and that they are just going to cause unimaginable destruction and death in their wake, and he can't deal with it on his own. So he decided to reach out to the Alliance and possibly the Warrior of Light to take care of the weapons for them. So that's where I think that this whole thing kind of ties in together. I mean, we do have some pictures, so this here is a glimpse of one of the weapons that we will be battling against in the new trials. And apparently this here is the Ruby weapon. And for fans of Final Fantasy VII, you already know exactly who this guy is. But we do have another picture waiting for us. We have these two new figures dressed in red. We don't know anything about them or who they are, where they come from, what they're doing here. Judging from the background though, it does look like we have a conversation with them somewhere in, it looks like Giro Albania, but that's really all I can tell. But I do think that they are going to be tied into this whole story and providing us with advice on how to destroy this thing. At least that's what I can see. Right, so that looks like all that we have so far. I mean, down here we do have a lot more information that's going to be waiting for us. I think that we will be learning more about it when the next letter from the producer comes out, which will be happening next Thursday. So we do have a week left before we can learn any more information. But we do have a few pictures and artwork here, such as the cover art here, which is also really interesting. But here is actually a picture of that Oracle of Darkness. Now, before Shadowbringers came out, when they were first discussing the whole idea about Eden, they showed this picture of one of these characters, and she was wielding a very specific hammer, possible hints to another job sometime in the future. But here, this was her artwork, like this was her design originally. And finally, we're getting a glimpse of what she really looks like. So this is how she is going to look in-game. So as you can see, she actually looks very similar to the artwork. They did a really nice job with her. She's really cute. She does look a lot like Rena. In fact, I think the two of them could easily pass for sisters in this case. I mean, she looks to be a little bit older than her at this point. A little bit colder, a little bit icier, judging from just what we've seen so far from the pictures. And of course, we do have the image here of Gaia. So he's definitely going to be playing a role in this new patch, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all of that. Anyway, though, that's it for right now. That's all the information that we have that's waiting for us in patch 5.2 for the time being. Again, I do think we will get more information about the upcoming patch in the next few days, or rather in the next upcoming weeks, especially after the next letter from the producer, which is 1 week away. I mean, yeah, they've really been taking their sweet time and giving us more information about 5.2, and I don't know if that's on purpose, like they want to try to keep everything secret here so that they don't reveal too much by accident. But I don't know, I just really don't know what's going on here about why they're taking so long. However, I would also be astounded if they don't reveal to us the trailer for 5.2 by next Thursday. Especially since we will be in the month of February, and the trailer does come out generally 10 days to 2 weeks before the patch does anyway. So I think that we should be expecting the trailer by next Thursday. Don't quote me on that, but I am willing to bet on it anyway. So I hope everyone will be looking forward to it. And yeah, I will be continuing to make updates regarding the special site and more information that we do know about patch 5.2. So I hope everyone's going to be looking forward to that. I hope that everyone has a good rest of your day. And yeah, so I'll be seeing you again as soon as possible. Bye-bye.